VV Cauldron, 7 out of the 8 top 8s in a recent Magic Online or Magic Arena, streamer event. Frank Carson posted some data. It looks like, something in the ballpark of 50% of the metagame.
Only at the top.
Oh,
no, seriously. Like, if you look at the tournaments, I think that like day one metagames and stuff, it's a lot closer to like 25 to 33%.
Mm-hmm.
It's only like 50% on day two of events and such.
And is that Magic Online or Arena?
Lots. It's basically everywhere. It looks like there's just a powerful winning effect where the longer you're looking at, like the deeper you're looking into a tournament, the more it's about Vivi Cauldron.
Yeah, I would be curious if there is a meaningful difference on Magic Online versus Arena, just because there's a secondary market concern with Magic Online. The cards actually get expensive in a certain way that can...
Cauldron and Vivi and Eidetic Memory.
Yeah, they can actually kind of distort what the metagame, quote-unquote, should look like.
Uh-huh.
Arena does not have that sort of factor. So I would assume that it's worse on Arena, but in any event, still not a palatable situation.
Is it is dead, long live is it.
Sort of related to this is Wizards of the Coast a couple years ago wanting to move to a more, in their opinion, stable and rememberable band cadence.
Rememberable, please.
I mean, okay. All right. I'll let you pick up the ball here. I got some thoughts too, but...
No,
I don't know. I never bought that line of reasoning because the level of investment you need to be as a Magic player to play Standard in a world that does not have blocks, where you just kind of have to memorize what sets are legal, to me is already selecting for someone who's largely going to be in their communication channels in the first place, to say nothing of, well, you got friends, right? And if you're just playing online, the digital client handles everything for you from an information standpoint. So I never really bought the reasoning there as being especially valuable. But now we're sort of seeing what was known to be the downside of this, which is, well, if your hands are tied for a really long period of time, what are you doing in the interim?
I mean, if you really cared about being memorable, the most convenient thing would be something like, I mean, I guess it depends. One possibility is literally just every set, right?
Yeah.
But that's the most logical cadence for a ban list is every set.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's new information, there's new stuff, and you kind of have the most incentive to make the new stuff have some space and to make the new feel be different. And like, obviously, you don't want to just have the ban list drop the same day as pre-release or whatever, right?
My pitch, or I didn't pitch this, but what I would go with would be first Monday or first Friday of the month, which is just...
Every month?
Yeah, we always do this. Now, a lot of the time, it's going to be no news, but we at least have... And in the months where you have no news, as far as I'm concerned, you don't even have to write an article beyond we're not doing anything. You don't need to do the comprehensive, someone from Play Design is writing an article talking about the state of the metagame or why they chose these particular cards. You only do that when you actually decide to ban something. But if you don't hear anything on whatever that first Monday is or the first Friday is, or whatever day you choose, then there's nothing to know. I would argue that's actually more easy to remember than whatever the next date is tied to the set release or whatever.
And it gets weird because really you want to do the list before the set comes out, and then it starts becoming confusing because it's like, when exactly does Spider-Man come out?
Yeah.
And so then like the idea of it being a month before that or whatever is kind of confusing. I personally love the regular cadence. 12 seems like so much, but if you're like really disciplined and you're just not using it most of the time.
Right. Just so everyone knows that if you don't hear anything, there's nothing to hear until the next month at the earliest.
It might also be that they kind of don't want there to be a perpetual ban list discussion going on.
Yeah.
Because that is also a little toxic, right? Like,
it is.
Not as toxic as cards that incent you to just draw cards. But
even if you went to every other month, that would be fine. I think that concern is legitimate that you're throwing out there, that once bans are kind of just in the atmosphere at all times and metagames are shit, that's kind of the thing that gets talked about. So do it every other month, whatever. But I'm just... Well,
then it becomes confusing. When's an on month? When's an off month?
Yeah, none of these are perfect solves, right? But I'm just saying...
I don't hate your version, though. Particularly, what if you got into a cadence where all the odd months are, or all the even months, whatever, where half of them you normally don't do anything. Where you're only like looking to do something every other month.
Yeah.
But you got that knob if you need to.
Right. So now we're in a spot where for the next 3 months, unless there is some sea change with their policy, that this is just going to be what the standard metagame is, absent the new sets that are coming out.
Or some people having an incentive to do something about it. I don't know. I guess sitting up in my ivory tower, looking down on a metagame I haven't actually played, there is a part of me that's like, come on, you guys. If there's this much, why don't we like make some stuff that's good against it, you know?
I mean, this gets into their production cycles, right?
I don't mean them. I mean players.
Okay.
Make decks that are good against it.
Okay.
For sure, if you could just like make new cards that, you know, like some digital products.
There's a few things going on here. One is I do think that sort of the point you're tapping into, which is there is just an absence of incentive and information stream for people to, you know, have an idea, pick up a ball and run with it a little bit. I think that is a factor. I think Agatha's Soul Cauldron is one of the worst designs of all time to be pointed at high tier 1. These are the characteristics that I do not like about it.
Okay.
Completely inscrutable.
True.
0 mana activation at instant speed.
I don't love that part.
Insane levels of onboard tricky, not even onboard, but nested onboard tricks and tracking that interlock with the 0 mana instant speed activation.
You're kind of selling me. Fuck.
One of the best cards against Agatha's Soul Cauldron is your own copy of Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
True.
That's it.
It's pretty good with activated abilities. Unfortunately, it's pretty good against activated abilities.
Yes. I started running into this card in Pioneer.
Yeah.
This is the type of card where, you know, for me, reading over the spoiler for a set coming out, I'm just going to glaze over that. I'm not reading all that. This is no way, right? But
I'm happy for you, or sorry that happened.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever. And then I started running into the card in Pioneer when I was playing a lot of Pioneer maybe 2 years ago. And my first reaction was like, what the fuck is this? Like, first of all, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And then second, once I understand what's going on, why the fuck is this thing 2 mana and activates for 0 mana instant speed?
I do like that kind of stuff a lot more. Even just one changes the dynamics so much when you've got this progressive thing. Like the way that if you balance it around, I mean, make whatever you need it to cost. But I don't just mean take literally Agatha's Soul Cauldron and add 1 because, you know, you can like make stuff weaker. But I think that when you're dealing with stuff like that, that has this, I'm going to keep using it every turn and I'm actually getting some, like it's actually profiting. There's something cool about having a recurring cost so that there's more that's getting toppled when you are, like when it gets abraded or whatever.
You have a lot to show for it. It's not really toppling, right? Like, yes, some of the advantage gets toppled, but not all of it.
Right. I mean, this Soul Cauldron's no longer continuing to do quite as much, right? Like, I guess, I mean, obviously there's still, stuff has been much better in the meantime. So you're right. It's not... At the end of the day, it's not sucking all the counters off everything.
And there is like the Scarab God kind of thing of like, well, your default mode is to do, like often you just do the best thing first. One, because the advantage is front loaded. And second, it's a hedge against your Soul Cauldron getting blown up.
Yeah.
Yes, it is some level of toppling advantage, but not, it's not, I put an enchantment on my creature and you play terror and now I'm down my creature and my enchantment.
Yeah. I guess I'm just thinking about the whole like if we lived in the world where instead of putting out all the counters and everything, like if it was just literally this Agatha Soul Cauldron is getting stronger from the different activated abilities.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of cool that you're sinking more and more. You're investing more and more. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this one is kind of like, I mean, it's the same thing with the eidetic memory too. It's not like you're really even investing anything. I guess if I destroy it, you're not going to continue to get that advantage every turn, which is like a ton for no mana. But you already did kind of like, you it's already like, cantripped.
Yeah, it's an up the beanstalk sort of. How bad can this possibly go for you once you've invested your 2 mana? It's either a ton of advantage that is just accumulating, or your opponent spent a card blowing it up. It's a little risky on your legendary cantrip.
So, first of all, are we on the same page that obviously Prof's eidetic memory is part of the equation of something that just has no business being here?
No question. I do think that there is the, I don't know if you want to call it PR or messaging or whatever, of like Vivi and Soul Cauldron are going to have the biggest spotlights and on them, and a level 0 or level 1, whatever, LGS player kind of reasoning would very reasonably be like, why wouldn't it just be one of these 2 cards? Why are we taking something off the margin? I agree with you that under the hood, this thing is a huge offender, and it is endemic of other design and development philosophies that have gotten them in trouble and necessitated 7 bans 2 months ago anyway. But it is a tougher sell to whatever extent you want to value that.
How do you feel about banning Agatha's Soul Cauldron and Proph's Eidetic Memory?
Awesome. We're talking November, right? So,
You're like, what is it? There's like, what, 3 sets between now and then?
right. Yeah, it's like, who knows what the shape of things are or whatever. But let's say the metagame is this or something close to this. I would guess Vivi is actually, of the 3, the design I like the most by far.
Same,
And,
obviously.
yeah, it's not even close. That card's actually like fun and cool and dynamic, and it's like the gameplay is good. You know, it's a lot.
I don't know. The gameplay's okay.
Right? Yeah. I guess
I don't know that I would call it good. I think that 0 mana activated ability that gives you blue or red mana, there's something weird going on with like hasty damage and the incentive to play spells. But it's not bad. It's definitely exciting, and it's a cool permanent, and it's something that can be interacted with, and it changes the nature of what kind of cards you play with without it being purely just on one direction. And there's some interesting tension, and the cards that are good against it, there's a big range of stuff that it tweaks the relative value of, and it's not just a lot of rate. There are some stuff about it that's kind of sketchy, but that's always going to be.
I don't like the ping for 1. That's the part that, if I had to levy a significant critique, it's the ping for 1. Like, this is already kind of about monopolizing the clock and taking a bunch of game actions and just getting value for spinning your tires. And I think the passively killing someone outside of combat element of it kind of sucks when paired with the type of cards that you're likely to play with it.
So the first knob that I would look at is I kind of like the idea of Vivi only being used once a turn.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you already got the once a turn from the mana ability, so it's less of a weird tack on than normal. I think that the progressive nature of Vivi is a much more compelling gameplay piece than the explosive immediately, the second turn you're dead thing. Because it's such a cool permanent. And there's something really cool about building up 1, 2, 3, 4. I also think that how much mana you get scaling off of just power, not just the counters, starts becoming very different. If you're going to be capped on how explosive you're going off on that second turn, the combos with stuff like some kind of a giant growth type effect become a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
And obviously, if it's once a turn, it really changes the nature of the damage ping ability anyway. So, like, who cares? Then, at least you got something different going on a little bit. But, I mean, I guess it's good that it's like it's certainly an iconic card and creature and character. And either way, though, man, something's got to change.